Okay, before I start this video, I want to encourage you to go to my Spreaker or my WordPress and follow me or subscribe to those pages. Because this might be one of those videos that YouTube will remove or censor off of its platform. Honestly speaking, I'm tired of having to speak in codes or censor myself, knowing that YouTube will still find a reason to censor my videos. So I'm just going to speak my mind. If YouTube happens to remove this, the links are on the bottom where you can go and subscribe to other places. Also, I want to encourage you to click on the Cash App or the Chime links that I have in the description box and help financially support this channel. If you like the content that I speak on, then support it financially. Click on the links in the description box. Now, I'm going to try not to be on this too long, but I want to speak briefly on Israel, or better yet, Hamas attacking Israel. This is all by design. This was all in the plan. This is why the whole Democrat agenda that we've been witnessing and suffering through since the Obama era, this is what they were leading up to. This is why Trump and the so-called MAGA Republicans are under attack. So when you hear Chuck Schumer speak on the MAGA Republicans, he's putting a distinction between the patriots of America and the rhinos. The Republicans that sold out to the Democrat agenda, that's working in favor of the Democrats. If you look between the Republicans and the Democrats are extremely strong. I give credit where credit is due. They're strong. So even if they don't agree with the agenda, they are loyal to the Democrat Party, even if it means destroying yourselves and destroying your families, because that's what the Democrat plantation is doing. And of all people, black Americans should not be supporting Democrats, because the Democrats are the ones that enslaved your ancestors. The Democrats are the ones that lynched your ancestors. That's where the KKK came from, the Democrat Party. Look at all the damage that the Democrats are doing to the black community. They're taking your tax dollars. They're putting illegal immigrants, and I spoke on this in the past, and of course YouTube removed that video. But I spoke on how the Democrats were torching and burning America. The things that you see Biden doing right now is high treason. In other nations, Biden would be put to death for what he's doing now, because Biden sold out America. There's a bank trail, there's paper trails between Biden and China and Biden's son. But the Democrats are ignoring that. Black Americans are ignoring that. And now they have the audacity to cry out, because now the illegal immigrants are getting the crumbs that they are used to getting. So now their crumbs are threatened. And that's why we see situations like what's happening in Chicago and even in New York. So now blacks decide to want to stand up because their crumbs are threatened. But the Democrats have been doing this all along, and they still don't care. the so-called blacks that you voted into office don't care anything about you because they're only thinking about themselves and their own families. They care nothing about you. But yet the only thing you can see in your vision is Trump. And he's not even president. What they're doing to Trump right now, they have always been doing to black Americans. And I can't understand why black Americans can't see that. But what we see that's happening in Israel has always been the plan, and this is only just the beginning. I've had visions, I have dreams, I spoke on those visions, I spoke on those dreams, and YouTube removed those videos. But if you have been following my channel for a while, you would know that much of what's going on today, I had already spoke on it and it was predicted. Now, this has always been in the plan. The Democrats have been working up to this point for what happened to happen. That's why when Biden took office, because of course, the election was stolen, just like they're working to steal the next election. That's just what it is. So when Biden took office, he made the choice and decision to erase everything that Trump did that benefited this country. So listen, I don't care how much you despise Trump, you don't like Trump, you don't like the Republicans, you don't trust them. The man was working for America. You benefited from that. Remember, there was no inflation. Remember the low gas prices. Remember you made money when it came to your 401k. So yes, Trump was benefiting America, but when Biden took over, he reversed everything and opened the borders. He's flooding America with illegal immigrants. That's now burglarizing the homes of Americans. And guess what? No one knows their names. They don't know where they came from. They know nothing about them. They are silent assassins. And just like what just happened over in Israel, my prediction is, if the United States get involved, because Biden and the Democrats are in too deep with China and with Iran and with those that are enemies of America, they are in too deep. If they get involved, that's when you would see those silent terror cells that I spoke on in the past, even more so now, that cross the borders illegally. The borders are wide open. So what do you think and who do you think is coming over the border? Human trafficking increase? Child trafficking increase? Child slavery? And black Americans speak against slavery so much, but yet you support illegal immigration. You refer to Trump as a racist and a xenophobic. So now in Chicago, they're fighting against illegal immigrants. In New York, they're fighting against illegal immigrants. Because now the illegal immigrants are now taking the crumbs that the Democrat Party is now taking back from you. Think of all the programs that were in the black community at one time that's now gone. And now you're competing with illegal immigrants. They're getting the jobs. They're getting licensed IDs from your state to be able to work, because many of y'all don't want to work. They're working for less money, for less pay. And now you're still on the bottom with your hands out, begging them, expecting them to give you something when they've already shown you what they think about you. The Democrats have already shown what they think about you. Even those brown faces or so-called black people that you voted into office. Look at all the female judges, the black female judges that Biden is appointing to the court. That's another form of divide and conquer, because while black men are starting to veer towards conservative, Biden is like, okay, I got something for you. So now they convince black women, instead of protecting your children, you're aborting your children. You're now anti-black man. And now you're in position where now the black man have to stand before you in court, and any anger and hostility that you may have against your baby daddy or some man that hurt you or hurt your mama, you can now take it out on that black man. So now this is Biden's way of dividing and conquering the so-called black American family. And you're falling for that. And then you have the black males that want to be women now. And there are black men that probably feel that this is the only way that I can have rights, that the laws will protect me if you become a woman, if you become a transgender. Now you can get on social media, you can become a celebrity, you can make money now. That's your piece of the pie for selling out to the Democrat Party. So this has all been, and I know I'm skipping around, but there's so much that I want to say that I've been holding in over time. But this is all a part of that agenda. The LGBTQ community, the COVID vaccines, the mandates, the open borders, the illegal immigrants, gun control. And notice, all those things that I just named, they always put a black face in the forefront. Black people are leading death and destruction for this nation. And guess who benefits? Not you, but the Democrat Party benefits. And those that's in political leadership. Right now you have Democrats that's protesting in favor of Hamas that attacked Israel. They are anti-Israel. They have Ilhan Omar that's in Congress that is a terrorist. And I've mentioned this in the past in other videos. She is a terrorist. Just sit back and listen what she and AOC have to say about Israel. Now, they would stand up and say, oh, we stand behind Israel. Well, you know what? Ilhan Omar, she won't say that, because she's supposed to be a Muslim, but she's not going to say that. She's against Israel. But they're going to listen to what she say because she's a part of the squad. Ilhan Omar is a part of the squad. Okay, so gun control, they want to disable or disarm American citizens, because with the open borders, with the defund police, they allow black Americans to loot and steal and break into businesses, right? They're allowing this to take place. Black Americans, you have black men that were gunned down in the street like dogs by police just for being black, just for running, but yet they're allowing you to go in and steal in businesses, to loot these businesses, and they got them on video running out with televisions. They're allowing you to do that. And who do you see doing that? Yes, you see black males as well as black females, but the majority of the people they have the cameras on are black men, black young men. This is the image that the world see of you. Nothing productive. But when it comes to the so-called black woman, she's the judges now that's being appointed by Joe Biden. And to test to see where their mind is, one was asked, what's a woman? She didn't know, although she herself is a woman. Look at what the Democrats are doing to you, and you are slumber and sleep. You're allowing these things to take place, and you refuse to stand up and fight back. While I mentioned in videos of the past that YouTube removed was that the illegal immigrants are the new black voters. See, they still need you. They need you to complete their mission. Although you get nothing in return. They're sending, if you add it up, trillions of dollars over to Ukraine, which is more than enough, or maybe, well, no, there's really no price behind reparations, but they could have taken that money and paid reparations to the so-called black community, which it still would have helped. It would have still helped the economy. But no, they sent it over to Ukraine, and then the money, the taxpaying dollars that they're using to fund open borders. And you see like trails and trails of people coming from different parts of the world, terrorists crossing the borders. And they have free health care. They get licensed when they get here, ID. When I got out the military, it took the longest for me to get ID. I had a government check, a military check that I had to cash, and it took me the longest because, and luckily, when you're in the military, your driver's license frees, okay? But my license had expired because I was in the service, right? So I had to end up getting the sheriff's ID. I had to get another driver's license to get that license because my license basically were frozen once I was in the service. So it took forever to get me to get a license. Now you have the illegal immigrants coming in immediately, getting free health care, got a place to stay, get money every month from the government, and they get a job. Everything they need to get started, but yet black Americans are homeless. Americans are homeless. I had just posted on TikTok not long ago of a family, a man and a woman and a child, an infant, that was evicted and died from carbon monoxide poisoning in a vehicle because they were living in their cars. But yet when it comes to illegal immigrants, they cross right over the borders. And I saw news clips, man, where they just had the borders open and they were just walking right through. They were walking right through. Right? And they're protected. Black Americans are still trying to be protected. Being slaughtered in the street by police, and been talking about laws to protect them, like the Asians and other groups that come through. And yet illegal immigrants that's here, they are criminals crossing the border, and they are protected. But back to the topic. Like I said, I'm going to be all over the place because I have so much stuff inside me. And it's been a while since I really made a video like this. So when you talk about gun control, that was to disarm American citizens so that Americans have no way to defend themselves. Once they disarm American citizens, then they're able to have complete and total control over the population. But right now, what we see happening over in Israel is only the beginning of sorrow. There's 9 Americans that were caught over there. I believe they might be deceased now. 9 Americans. And guess what? Biden is not going to do anything about it because Biden is a part of all of this. When he left all of the military weaponry and equipment over in Iran, or better yet, Afghanistan, what do you think was going to happen with all of that equipment? Brand new high-tech military equipment and weaponry, he left it. Just withdrew. And then, right after he gave that $6 billion, released it to Iran, this took place. And Biden had the audacity to stand up and talk about how they stand with Israel. That's a lie from the pits of hell. Okay, so what we see happening is only the beginning of sorrow. This is all by design. And if America gets involved, if they really get involved like they should, watch terrorism in the United States is going to happen like never before. Because now we have enemies that walked over the border and they're sleeping terror cells that's funded by American government. Sleeping terror cells in America is funded by the American government to battle and destroy or help contribute to destroying America. Sleeping terror cells. That's the whole purpose of the borders being wide open. It's not just for workers or getting cheap labor. No, it's way beyond cheap labor. This is Biden's army. This is the Democratic army that they expect to fight for them in exchange for access to America. As they say, this is like stair steps or a path to citizenship, as they call it. These people don't need help because these people come crossing the border, they look like they're pretty able-bodied. I was in the casino a couple of nights ago and I saw a few of them in there playing slot machines. Couldn't even speak the language. But the things that we see Biden doing right now in the Democrat parties, members of the Democrat, this is high crime and treason. And in other countries, they would be put to death. Biden should be put to death for what he's doing. The United States government should put him to death for what he's doing because he sold out America. And this is sad. But if the United States get involved with what's going on in Israel, then we will start seeing those sleeping terror cells wake up and terrorism start taking place in America on American soil. Because Biden opened the floodgates and allowed the enemies to cross the border. So feedback, tell me what you think, and I'll make another video, a part 2, at a later date. Until next time, I'm fearless.